Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, USA versus the world, ladies and gentlemen. That means you are in a crossfire. That means you need to make financial decisions, whether you believe there's a winner and a loser. But if you are a citizen of any country that's involved with the tariff war, you are the loser. You are the mark. What are we going to do about it? We're going to talk about it today on the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Because remember, whether there is an offense, there's always a defense. And when there's a defense, there's always a counter by the offense. This is what you have to do with the financial situation at your disposal. What are you going to do? I want to hear in the comment sections going forward. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Stop struggling now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos because you never know who's going to be able to be helped. They don't even know they're looking for the information. Some people are just going about their merry way, not paying attention to the stock market, and they have less stress naturally. But there's sometimes no reason to pay attention because you already know what's going to happen. But when the prices go down, like they did this week so far, like they did 2 weeks ago, we're back to the same low numbers in a lot of cases, 52-week lows. Now, what are you going to do? Is it going to keep dropping from here, or will it bounce back up tomorrow like it traditionally has done? Well, we're going to find out. But are you positioning yourself anyhow? Regardless of what you believe, are you still investing? I want to hear from you because it's the USA versus the world, and the world is responding just as I had anticipated. As I've mentioned before, reciprocal tariffs, reciprocal economic warfare. That is what's going. Germany also announced today, you guys know DHL, you guys have heard of FedEx, the equivalent of FedEx in Europe and Germany, DHL, and around the world. DHL said, we're not going to ship items out of our country to the United States. No help coming from us. China also have done the same thing, except it's even worse. They said, you know, those containers of goods that you guys want coming to America, we're not letting those leave the port. So you want to get into an economic war? That's not good for the United States citizens. Make sure you smash the like button so the YouTube gods know that you're in the house. Why is that not bad? We are the consumer nation. Everybody, not everybody, a large percentage, especially when we start talking about China, Mexico, Canada, India, those countries make a lot of goods that are being sent into America. So when you blatantly disrespect people, they just say, well, we just won't ship your stuff. You don't have the manufacturing facilities, America. So therefore, we'll just have your citizens order directly from us, which would be the next move. Let's just cut out the middleman. You can order from us direct at the real low prices. This is going to change economic situations around the world and put America at a disadvantage because we don't have the cheap labor. The other countries do. We are in an economic disadvantage. So the only thing that we can do is either come over here, build billions of dollars worth of plants, but are you really going to pay people $40 or $50 per hour, a livable wage? Doubtful. So therefore, what's the point? Why are you going to waste billions of dollars to build manufacturing facilities when you can't even get people to come to work because they realize you're not going to pay them a livable wage to take care of the kids, not going to be able to, apparently going to have to pay for education, lunch, healthcare. I mean, USA versus the world. We've seen this picture before. Twice in history it's happened. 1890s, 1920s. Both times led to disaster for the United States citizens. But back then, in both accounts, we always have immigrants coming into America to have the low wages. So who could work in factories, who could actually help produce things so that we can sell it to the rest of the world. All right, let me know what you guys are thinking today after the day's salsa dance should have been running through your mind. Post-retirement travel, an investor is here. Mr. Worldwide is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hi, all. Let's do this. That's what we do, ladies and gentlemen. We do the damn thing. Regardless of the economy, you're the CEO of your life. You're going to have to F average, be legendary in these times because your decisions are going to be your future. If you do nothing, and the way things are looking right now in just today's terms, this isn't like a month from now or 6 months or a year from now, but in today's terms, if somebody said your dollar is losing value, nobody wants it, that's a problem. If somebody says we are going to do reciprocal tariffs, and now the prices are raised for goods and services on our shelves, that's a problem. If you can't get a pay raise of 25, 30%, which most people cannot, that's a problem. And now when 70 to 78% of people in 2024 live paycheck to paycheck during the course of a month, now it's probably 80. So that's a problem. And then when you say, I'm sorry, we may strip further Medicare, Medicaid, healthcare, and all this, now people have stress. Stress does not equal great performance. Sure, some people perform well under stress. A lot of people do not. There's people that can't even take a test. A test, knowing at a school, a person says, the teacher says, you're going to have a test on Thursday, and here it is Monday. Here's what you need to study. Giving all just that clue, here's what you need to study. On Thursday, there's a certain percentage of the class who stresses about taking a test because A, B, C, D, E, F, there's grades. So people stress. And to some, they're like, okay, it's a test, no big deal. To others, it's stressful. They freeze. They don't know what to think, know what to do. Their mind does weird things. That doesn't mean they're not smart. That just means their mind does weird things. Not everybody looks at everything the same, like dyslexia, right? So I'm dyslexic. So it was embarrassing reading in class when I was growing up because kids would start laughing because I'm looking at words before and backwards. It wasn't letters, it was like words to me. So when I'm speaking and reading, the words are being replaced. So like today, like what was our last live stream? Offshore real estate investing, right? So I might do like real offshore estate investing, and then I'll get the rest of the sentence right. But that's where you didn't realize it because to you, you're just like, well, that's what it says. But You're not realizing there's this dyslexic thing going on. So these are the type of things that's going on right now. People don't understand what the shock and awe is and why the stock market is dropping. So again, I touched on it at the beginning. You guys want to come along for the ride? Well, here's your ride down. You're going. First of all, let's just do some simple mathematics. If you paid for VOO $530, right? That's your average. You wake up and you see it at 477. What should you do? Most people would freeze up and say, man, I lost, that's a difference of like $50 a share or something, right? From what my dollar cost average is. Well, what you should be doing is trying to figure out buying some more. That would be the logical step so your dollar cost average comes down. We've talked about this before. This is where we're getting close to 52-week lows on a lot of things and possibly could surpass it depending on what happens tomorrow. What do I mean? Tomorrow at 4 p.m., Tesla's going to give out their earnings report. I don't know how their earnings report would be positive, quite frankly. I don't. And they get the benefit of the doubt. Tesla is something that's weird that I don't agree with because Apple, Microsoft, Google, for instance, Amazon, we know they have multiple companies under them. What I don't like by a company, which is Tesla, or any company that acts like we make, well, cars, or we'll say they make cars, and then you're trying to give them an evaluation that we're going to make robo-taxis when robo-taxis are already existing. They don't have robo-taxi fleet running around, people paying and using it. And there's other robo-taxis outside of the United States and other countries fully operational. So the only way you can stay in the game is if your country bans the competition from coming here. So you're giving an evaluation based on robo-taxis, which they don't even have any in testing for. Then breaks out a robot and you're giving a valuation for a robot. So I'm like, at this point, what is this company? Is it because clearly it's not advancing compared to the rest of the world, but yet it has a high valuation, in my opinion. And a lot of people are saying buy. Now, it has come down 20, 30, 40% this year. So to some, like Kathy Woods, it's a buy. She's like, I gotta buy it. 227, 224, whatever happens tomorrow. This is going to be a headwind of things to come. More United States corporations who cannot now sell their goods outside of the US, and now you have United States citizens not being able to buy at quantities they used to. You're going to have a decline in earnings. What does that traditionally mean? That means stock prices are going to come down. So the bottom line, you have to buy on the way down. Dollar cost average, that post-retirement travel is a big fan of. In my case, I'm not really a big fan of it until you have these crazy drops like what's been happening over the last 2, 3, 4 weeks. You cannot sit on the sidelines and watch the parade go by, ladies and gentlemen. I've been telling you now for 5+ years, 6 years, and I'm going to continue to tell you, you have 1 year, 8 months left before the game is over. If you don't think it matters, the dollar losing its buying power around the world matters, ladies and gentlemen. It matters big time. Nobody wants to buy our bonds, which now means no central bank should be doing their printing of money because they can't. No bonds are being purchased. And setting the bonds at 4.3, 4.4, as I've told everybody the last live stream, every live stream for the last week and a half, that means the housing market is still on hold. There will be no shining housing market that you can manipulate. So this thing about a president telling the Federal Reserve Chairman Powell to reduce interest rates, unfortunately, that is no bailout. That's only going to increase inflation. Nobody wants the United States dollars. So now what? You're going to borrow your way, increase more money into the money supply, and nobody wants it? That is inflation, ladies and gentlemen. How are you going to protect yourself? Well, we can start with that little bit of gold, a little bit of silver, a little bit of crypto, Bitcoin and Ethereum. But that does not give you any money in your pocket. That just means I took an ounce. I paid $3,450 and bought me some gold and sat that one little ounce on the dresser, and it's gone in a black hole. It gets to sit there looking shiny and nice, and you get to feel good because it jumps up to 3,500 eventually. And you're thinking in your head, but in reality, what good is it doing you? Because you have to convert that back in, and it's going by the inflationary rate in reality. So you're not getting ahead. You're just being able to buy the same thing just later. And during that course of time, there's bills due every week. Bills are due. So where are you going to get the extra money from? So that limits what you can do here. Here we go. Let's see. Yes, Tesla is announcing their earning. I think what's really going to move the stock isn't so much earnings, but future forecast and plans. I wouldn't count Tesla out. I don't plan to sell my shares. All right. Well, I think I really can't say. Tesla is going to keep bouncing around. Whether it goes to 200, then it'll be 280, 300. I think it's going to go up and down. I cannot understand for the life of me how board members doing the Tesla brand has been tarnished. I don't know how board members haven't done anything. One thing they could do would really give them a bounce, but they won't do it. So I wouldn't count them out. I'm not going to count them out either. But the problem is, because of our protectionism in America, Americans do not know what the real competition is in the world on Tesla products, because the world is blocked, the USA versus the world. So that's one of the problems. So if your own citizens can't afford to buy your product, and your product is not that good compared to your competition in other countries, then therefore, how are you going to win as a company eventually? Right? So that's where I'm going with this, because I'm not sold on anybody doing robotics, any of this. Well, I'll put it this way: Tesla doing any of this robo taxis with FSD, because that's not even using the proper LiDAR for most people around the world who's already using robo taxis in real life. They don't use the FSD model. That's out. I mean, that's out. So I don't understand how this is going to be a thing. And I don't understand who's supposed to be buying these things. So I guess it's going to be more subsidies to Tesla out of the taxpayers' pockets so they can build the robo taxis. Because that's the only way this is going to happen. And then who's going to test it? Yeah, everybody else is testing and have been. In fact, there's companies already running around in San Francisco, Arizona, Phoenix, and all over the place that's already running around doing their robo taxis. Robots, that's got a long way to go. And we have wars to deal with right now, tariff wars. We have reciprocal wars. We have parts and supplies and things like this wars. So there's no supply chain that's easy. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, what are we going to do today? We're going to have to keep talking about what you need to do. First things first. I need to always change, because the way they have this set up, and again, I'm not on live Wi-Fi for another 2 weeks. So, you know what that means? That just means we just have a little bit of fun and the show still goes on. But how many of you are out here buying some shares of stock? A little bit. Remember, I said you have to have a little duffel bags of cash. You have to have some armory in your backpack. So therefore, you use a little bit of it, because just because the stocks went up last week, that you might have jumped. But again, nothing wrong with it. But you cannot sit idly by. If you are in the stock market and your dollar cost average is potentially, possibly being able to go down by you buying additional. Nobody's saying if you have $10,000 in a stock and you're going to have to go put another 10,000 in. What I'm just saying is you need to buy some more so your dollar cost average comes down, especially when you're talking about 10 percentage points, 15 percentage points. At least get 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, $20 less if you can't buy the whole 10,000 plus again. But now you buy more shares for $10,000 at a lower price. So now that offsets, and now you get it to drop down. So these are the type of things, but you can do a little bit at a time. Nobody's saying, I personally think the stock market is going to look, I think it's going to be like 1935, 33. I think that's what's going to happen. I think one of these times it's not going to bounce back up off of the low. I think there's going to be no money. That's what I think is going to happen. No money. And that's why we have a president who's sitting there running around messing with my man Jerome Powell, who's ever seen several financial crises and did the soft landing. Him and the board, these guys did the best soft landing that you could ever do in the world, if you call it soft. If you got 80% of your population living paycheck to paycheck, I would argue that's not really soft, is it? But it could have been much worse in this time around. Never mind the pandemic era, and never mind the other small hiccups. So, what are you going to do? Stocks is one thing, gold and silver is another, and precious metals. There's not much you can do, ladies and gentlemen. You're caught in the bag. You're going to either have to have a business that makes extra revenue, or you're going to have to figure out something. Hopefully it's legal, because where are they going to get free labor from? Those of you who go the criminal route, that is where the private prisons that are being constructed are going to be holding a bunch of people. So you'll be working. I'm just saying. That is the only place that wages make sense, right? So you have to up the prison population, one. And now that the IRS isn't going to have all their agents to hunt people down, that just means a whole bunch of people that have money can get away with tax situations, non-paying of taxes. That's all that means. Or paying less than what you should be paying. I mean, that's what's going to happen. It's that simple. So when I told you guys 5.5, 6 years ago, you live in a third world country, but you don't know it yet, here we are. What's the definition? I don't know. A developing nation. Do you have an energy grid that's dependable? That's debatable. Do you have running water? Do you have internet? Just the basics. How many of your citizens actually have a nice place to live? Running water, sewer, right? All these things. The infrastructure in America is sitting in 1960s for the most part. This is outrageous. We don't have the money. 37 trillion in debt. The world is losing confidence, ladies and gentlemen. And what's going to happen if the world loses confidence and the United States citizens don't have money, whether they believe in the country or not? We have 1931, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38 coming our way. We have 1895, 1897, 1898 coming our way. We have 2007, 8, 9, 10 coming our way. And what are you going to do if the stocks that you're holding right now drop 30, 40, 50%? I'm hoping that you're going to join me in post-retirement travel and not take all your duffel bag of cash and put it out now. I'm hoping you have a little more of something left so then when it does drop, if it goes 30% less, you have some bullets that you can use towards that. Because that's the only way you ultimately get to come back with a vengeance, and that's where millionaires are made. Because I'll give you a simple example. A stock that's $100 per share, and that's like NVIDIA right now, is less than $100 again, ladies and gentlemen. It's in the 90s. So if your dollar cost average is over 100, why aren't you buying? Simple. All right. So I'll use a simple scenario, $100 per share of stock. The stock went down to 70. All of a sudden, you were buying a little bit. So your dollar cost average went down to $90. Great. Then it dropped another 20, 30%, and it went down to $49. Are you buying then, or are you scared? You should be buying at 49 a little more, because now your dollar cost average, let's just say you can get it down to 80. And again, I've illustrated this before, but once you got it down to 80, then what did you do? That's the $1 million question. What did you do? Let's just say you're happy at 80. Well, see, here's what happens, as I've illustrated before, is if the stock price goes back up from 49 to 70, you're feeling much better. Once it hits 80, you're at break even. Once it goes back to 100, you're just like, I'm liking this. Once it goes back up to a 30 to 40 to 50%, now you're at 150. You're really going to love it because your dollar cost average is at 80. And that's the power of buying down on dollar cost averages. All right. Hopefully you guys understand where we're going with this, because that is what you need to get your head wrapped around. Be ready for offense. That's what you should be thinking about right now. Be ready, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Be ready. Now, USA versus the world is a real thing, right? Right now. So that means you have to have a business plan. You should be searching for ways that you can get extra dollars in the door. Whether that's doing some arbitrage that we talked about when the pandemic was going on like 4 years ago, when you could have been buying something, put it out there on Facebook Marketplace or eBay or Amazon or wherever, buy low, sell high. People were on buying sprees. Very interesting on that front. So the same rules apply here. Why aren't you going to biz, buy, sell? Because I guarantee you right now, there's a lot of businesses that may have been in the business of making money, but you're going to have to choose carefully because they're going to do seller finance. And it may seem like a great deal, but before you buy, you should go and be at the location to see how it operates. Be there for at least a week. Spend a few hours a day, not 1, not 2, not 3, but over 4, 5, 6 hours, like you work there for free, if you want to invest. Because what you may find out is, as less and less Americans have money to spend, their business might be on a downward trajectory because they have less revenues, less profit. And so it works in their favor. They'll just say, well, just give me my $10,000 per month. You see, we make 20. So, and then I want X amount of dollars. So bizbuysell.com, you can go there, find a business, maybe something works there. Or you can always go the real estate route and try to figure out if that short-term rental or long-term rental plan works for you. If you say no, then what can I tell you? Now you're going to have to figure out, am I going to work at this job? So now the income you're making from your personal job, are you going to be able to withstand inflation? The cost of living is rising. There's no way around it. The dollar is losing value around the world. Nobody wants it. It's a problem. Let's just put it that way. A very, very bad problem. Um, hold on a second. I gotta do this because I have to change the title. USA versus the world. That's my title. But whenever I do this EV Mux, what I don't like about it is when I come back in, they always keep the title up. I don't get it. But that's what it is. So what are you going to do, ladies and gentlemen, on this Money Making Monday live stream? I already know what post-retirement travel is going to do. He's going to sit there and watch Tesla tomorrow. I'm anticipating after hours or even tomorrow that down a few. Nothing. I don't expect it to go from let's say 227 or 25 to 180 or anything. But is your dollar cost average at 227 or lower? That's the question, right? That's the $1 million question. Here's the thing. I don't even have TSLY anymore. But right now, TSLY is going to have a lot of option income trading going on to give out these hefty dividends by Yield Max ETF. So it's almost like I have to get some, right? The price is right. Have to. Now, TSLA, that's another story. But I like see, my thing is, if I'm going to I'll do NVIDIA before I do Tesla. I'll do Google before I'll do all the other Magnificent Seven type stocks. And VOOSPY, it's hard because, these companies, these mega cap companies are part of these indexes. So when a good day occurs, they all rise in unison. When bad days occur, like today, they all drop in unison pretty much. So you have to be in the game. You can't think like, oh, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. That's not how it works. Okay? The sky is not falling. There's only one thing that actually works in America for over 100 years, and that is the value of stocks. They always increase, whether there's a crash in 1930s, whether there's a crash or recessions in the 1970s, recession in 1980s, recession in 1990s, recession in 2000s. Regardless, the stocks always go higher. So if you can withstand 1 year, 3 years, 2 years, which we haven't had, quite frankly, since 2008, 9, hasn't been anything. The pandemic is another situation, but that was opportunity galore. So since the Fed are actively involved, they can actually manipulate the system to reduce it to 2 years, regardless of what happens. United States, luckily, has world currency. All right, here we go. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Today, from post-retirement travel, today was another great opportunity to keep adding to the bag of stocks. I agree with you 100%. 100%. I think tomorrow, like I was starting off, I started really thinking about what's going to happen, but I think tomorrow's probably going to be another good day. I think we're going to be just like 2 weeks ago, where it went down, and then like Wednesday, it'll probably pop back up. But that's just the point. You want to make sure that you're there. You're there. You're in the parade. You're in the game. You can't sit on the sidelines. The wealthy have stocks. All right. That's just number one. The wealthy have real estate. The wealthy have businesses. They're all using their business as derivatives. Business values increase if you're still in business, right? So just keep that in mind. Some of you also, here's what I like doing. again during times of turmoil. Times of turmoil, there's always one thing that's always very interesting, and that is land. I've mentioned this before, it just sits there. Land. And the fact that there's turmoil, land is so, it's not valuable. You have to develop on it. So this is an excellent time to start looking at land, looking at auctions, tax sales. People are like, oh, forget that land. I can't, why am I going to pay the taxes on it, which may only be a $200 a year? But the fact is, why am I paying taxes on it? Oh, I have water hookup, so now I got to pay the water sewer part of that, and I'm just wasting money. It's I've had it for 5 years, and I just been paying this for 5 years. It doesn't even make any sense because as things get tighter and people start choking, they start losing their mind, which is only natural. They have to start offloading things, and you have to be there to pick it up. It's that simple. The idea of a bankruptcy. Agree. I think Wednesday will pop up again. We have to stay in the game. Exactly. There's just no way around it post-retirement travel. I agree with you 110. We're in agreement on this. There's just no way. This is the time that try men's souls, but this also is the time that makes the millionaires. Again, you know what? This is so special. I want to let everybody understand this. Here's what's special about right now. You don't need tens of thousands of dollars to make an impact later. You can only have a few $1,000s worth of stocks because you bought them so low that if those stocks double and you get dividends to boot, you win. You stay ahead of the game. That's what happens. That's how people get wealthy. So when you're saying I only have 500, I only have 300, I only have 1,000, I only have 800, I only have 2,000, 5,000, whatever number you have, it does not matter. You have to be in the game because what you don't understand and may not really realize is, let's go back in time. Obama comes in. He doubled the market. Trump comes in. He doubles the market. Biden comes in. He doubles them. So all you had to do was be in the market like the last 14, 15 years, and you would have a nice little comfy, cozy retirement or stock portfolio or brokerage account. Because the bottom line of the story is you do that with a few thousand, it ends up being great. Because I will remind people, Apple, Tesla, these companies did stock splits 10 to 1, 7 to 1, 4 to 1. So when now those didn't just double, they split and doubled and tripled and quadrupled. That's the beauty of it. So this is what people forget about and why people were very happy from 2010-ish all the way through. Even during the pandemic, people were ecstatic because that was an induced stock market downward trend. And everybody knew once the pandemic's over, then everything's going to pop back up. And that's what happened. So there's just no way around this. This is the cycle. This cycle here, though, the USA versus the world, puts a whole new twist on what's going to happen later because that is the problem. This could be a short or a long-term painkiller. This could be, man, you might have to keep holding on, just putting a little bit of that duffel bag of cash out for the next 6, 7 months or worse. Because if this goes wiggy, USA versus the world, which it's going wiggy right now, and then the Federal Reserve is going to, in like 3 months, I predict, reduce the federal funds rate. But if the bond rate is still over 4.2, that's going to defeat the purpose, but that'll help somebody in the back room. I don't know who, but it's going to help some people take advantage. Other people, it's not going to change anything because most people look at their wealth as a home, unfortunately. And again, that's a whole nother topic, a whole nother day. But the point I'm trying to make is you guys need to make sure that you are in the stock game. You do have a little bit of gold and silver and crypto, Ethereum and Bitcoin. You do have exposure, even land, as I mentioned before, because land's going to be very, very cheap. Nobody's buying homes, which is a direct correlation. Nobody's buying land really, except cheap ass land. People are willing to say, I'll sell or finance it for you. All kinds of things can happen. But you have to do your homework when you're buying land. You have to know what's going to be built on the outskirts of town or near your land. Does your land have water and sewer hookups? Electricity, does it come to the land? If it does not, then don't waste your money. That's the first order of business. Just automatically have that right now. You can't take any risk right now. Make sure you have that. Because we have a plan. We have something for you on the other side of the fence. So let me give you something on the other side of the fence. Let's say you're lucky enough, like what happened to me before, where you can find some land for $3,000. And then all of a sudden, just what happens as usual, after you come out of recession, the prices go up. $3,000 goes up to $90,000 in 2 or 3 short years. Option one, sell it, which, okay, get to make 80 grand or whatever. Option two, Brad Evans Loans, Northern California. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. You use the land as collateral to build duplex, awesome second home, because you can get a construction loan using your land as collateral. Then, as you're building, the home is built or duplex is built, whatever you want built. At that point, your construction loan changes into a conventional. Now, since it's a conventional loan, you have the appraised value. The appraised value clearly is going to be higher than what it cost you to build. It's that simple. So you get to win. But again, you have to be prepared. You have to be looking right now. You can't be just sitting there going, I'm thinking about it. Maybe. No, you have to look, because guess what? There's hundreds of other people looking as well. So you have to be first. You have to be Johnny on the spot if you want to make this work. And now is the time to start looking, because if this goes worse, then you know what to do. If it goes the same and it's wishy-washy, up and down, but you need to still look, because if you find something that has the right criteria, water, sewer, garbage, electricity, for starters, and it's in a great location or a location that is growing 2 miles down, 1 mile down, it just stopped. Fine, great. But you have the price right at a low price. That is the key. Just like stocks, same thing works with land. Once you own the land, now you have options. Sell the land at a higher price, great. Construction loan to build a house or a duplex or a fourplex, whatever you're allowed to build, go for it. But good news, since you own the land that has value now you don't have to come out of pocket. I'm just saying, this is a very, very valuable tool. And by the way, no credit check as well. Just thought I'd do it. We will see. Brian P., Mr. Dividend is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline, Happy Day, Eric. I hope all is well with you. Yes, it's going great, man. Thank you so much. Hopefully all's going well with you and your family. Happy day, SSN family. Smash that like button. He gave it a 1 piece. We are making money in here. And I'm doing this, throwing it up in the air, being like, oh my God, can you believe what's happening today? Down, down, down. I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. Here we go again. I'm waiting for the next tier down. I'm waiting for that extra 10, 20% drop. That's what I'm waiting on. I have a feeling it's coming this week. I do. I really do. I have a feeling, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's just a feeling. It's not really like anything from a, uh, research that it's that way. It's just the way the market's acting. It's the way the world is acting because the reciprocal tariffs have put us in a situation that uh, is not good because nobody's laying down. Everybody's, being against us. So that's not a good thing at all. So again, that means our upside is maybe not as good as it could be, unless there is some house cleaning. If there's house cleaning where all of a sudden somebody wakes up off the floor after getting knocked down in the ring and they start smelling the salts, and then something comes to their brain and goes, man, let's just table this tariff stuff. Let's get back to the normal. Let's get back to normal. All of a sudden, that would send the stock market through the roof. And that also would actually change the perception of America in days. Now, unfortunately, our allies and all that's not going to trust us from this point on. So that kind of makes it wishful thinking that everything's going to be fine. But at least if we showed signs of not trying to tear down the world structure that's been cultivated over the last 75 years, then that would be pretty cool. That would be all good. That's right. We're making money in here. Did you guys get those cha-ching, ching, chings today? Did you guys get that reinvestment notifications? Did you guys see the pending? And oh, by the way, I got to be fully transparent. Remember, I told you 2.5 earlier this month for the week, 3.5 was 6. Well, guess what? Today, my no 4%, no 4%, no 1%. Try a half a point. And I shouldn't even say half a point. It's like a half of a percent, which is a half a point. But anyhow, it's half of 1%. So I'm at 6 point, no, it's not even that. I'm at 6.005. Yes, that's half of 1%. So now nothing, no 4, no nothing. And the reason why, I'll tell you why, because I talked about this, is because when you're throwing in, I'm going by the total. So when I threw in more from the duffel bag of cash, threw in some more, now I put more in, but the dividend outlay will not come out until either another 30 days or another weekly cycle. So that's what's happening. So in other words, let's just go, I'll use the 100 number as usual. You put 100, you had 100, you had 2.5%, 3.5%, and then all of a sudden you put in $400, right? So then that following week, you have your dividends. But now I am actually going off a total. I'm not going off of, okay, I only had 100 in when we did it. I'm going, okay, 400 was added. So it's 400 total now. And that's why the decrease substantially. But I don't mind doing that because as each week goes by, that means it's going to all play out. But so far, we'll figure it out at the end. I'm doing this on purpose. I'm not doing it based on what I probably should be using. I'm trying to base it on overall because I want to know when we have this downtime, I need to understand, I want to know what the number should be, could be, and in this way, I want to know what's going to happen if all of a sudden the stocks rise for that growth and we still get whatever the underlying dividends are. So if they end up being 10%, I can live with 10% per month, by the way. In fact, I can live with 6% per month, quite frankly. So I have another week. Well, we got another week, another 10 days to go. I go Friday to Thursday. That's what I go by. So Friday to Thursday, Friday to Thursday, Friday to Thursday. Any dividends issued within that Friday to Thursday goes into that's what we transfer. So on Friday, I now know what it's going to be. All this is good. All this is good. All this is good. Wow, we just got paid. Exactly, man. Exactly. Yes, sir. We just got paid, says Brian P., Mr. Dividend Post-Retirement Travel. Yes, sir. High yield dividends rolled in today. Plan is to invest 20% back into the fund tomorrow. There you go, man. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yield Max, exactly. IWMY. I know. How can you let it slide by, ladies and gentlemen? $23. I know. I know. It's crazy, right? Crazy. My dollar cost average is lower than that. MSTY 2130. My dollar cost average is lower than that. That's why I'm loving life. It's beautiful to see right now. Great buys. Exactly. IWMY, STY. Those are nice. Crazy. YMAG is going to be nice again. What can I say? In fact, the duffel bag of cash, I wasn't getting the YMAG and all that. I was getting NVIDIA, which does not give out but a freaking 1% dividend, so that's nothing. But NVIDIA has no dividend, so it's only appreciation. So that's where the shift came. If I were to use the NVIDIA monies and put it in a YMAG, MSTY, things like that, then I'd have more dividends. But for me, I'm still looking for that growth as part of the portfolio, right? So I'm willing to say, okay, just give me that. I'll take 6%, 5%. If you can give me 4% dividend return on dividends every month, I'll take that. If it's 3%, I'll take that too. 36% a year, great. So that's what we're looking for. That's what you should be looking for. You're trying to leverage everything you have right now. Remember, guys, I was doing, watches, right? You guys get that notification about all the clothing, luxury brands that people thought for years that they were actually buying luxury brands and the other stuff was counterfeit and this, that, and the other, right? And the Chinese government outed these luxury brands. Well, now the Chinese have also outed some of these luxury watches, which I thought it was hilarious. A lot of times people were doing the same thing. How are these guys making it look so good? Well, if it's made in a factory in China, yeah, they can make their counterfeit look very good. I mean, let's just get real. So here's how it works in the watch industry, clothing industry, similar things. Not everybody that has theirs, not all companies do this, but I told you guys on Friday about Callaway and where are they? They're in SoCal. They in La Jolla or something. I can't remember. But anyhow, they're in SoCal, and they get their items made in China but assembled in the United States, so then they can say it's a USA manufactured product. So the same thing holds true with watches. Do similar things as well. They have part of the watch made in China, and then they ship it to, let's say, Switzerland, or let's say France, or doesn't matter, Germany. And then the German watchmaker will put their pieces in there too. It could be movements, it could be their certain bracelet, or whatever, their strap, whatever they want to do, right? So then they can claim that it's made in their country, right? So charging big bucks. So once again, the value of things may not be the value of things going forward. So you just never know. Great buys. Exactly, great buys. That's my problem. My MSTY, I'm below that number by dollars, not just cents, dollars. That's why it's hard for me I hate dollar cost averaging up. It drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. And my SMCY is dropping like a rock. ULTY, but it's okay. It's all right. Y Max, all these basically are dropping. Y Max, Y Mag. I love Y Mag because that's part of the Magnificent Seven. And a lot of option income money is being traded right now, like today and tomorrow, because tomorrow there's going to be an uptick somewhere. Tomorrow there'll be an uptick. But back to Jerome Powell, I forgot about this too. When somebody wants to do get the Jerome Powell to reduce interest rates, Jerome already called me up, said, "Hey man, I ain't doing that." I said, "I know you can't." I'm like, "What are you trying to do?" Because otherwise, the currency is going to go to zero, and inflation is going to go through the roof because nobody's going to buy the dollars. He's like, "Exactly, I can't do it. That would be suicide, financial suicide." I said, "I know, but when you're rich, you don't care about financial suicides." But everybody else is going to be screwed. He's like, "That's right, Eric. I know, man. That's why I can't do nothing. Can't touch it. Can't touch it." Now, if he threw away the tariffs, then all right, we can start having discussions. But because he had the tariffs, he's already increased the prices of goods and services. So therefore, I can't, because that'll increase the price of goods and services too. Plus, all the rich guys would be sucking up the air in the room because they'll have lower interest rates than the ordinary citizens can get. Huge advantage when the market is down. Think about it, because you know that's the next move, right? That's why somebody's sitting there, reduce the interest rate, reduce the interest rate, because if you could walk in and you said, "Hey man, my company's worth $100 million. Can I get like $20 million at 2% interest only for 10 years?" And they say yes. You're taking the 2% only. You're taking the 20 mil, and you're going to put 10 mil in the market overnight. You're going to be like, "Let me go. Let me get some more of this. Let me get some more of this." Buying our own stocks too to increase our stock value, and buying some other stocks too, because we're going to make the stock market rise. That's what would happen. But hold on, that's what's going to happen later with the tax cut, tax breaks, and the Federal Reserve reducing rates. So there'll be something coming down the pike in the next 3 to 6 months. That's why you cannot sit on the sidelines, ladies and gentlemen. Curtis Davis, Mr. Financial, is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Very happy to see you once again. And he brings his tagline this evening. Thanks for the information. Yes, financial suicide, bad dollar, reduced rate. Exactly. That would be a nightmare scenario. And guess what else to boot? Ladies and gentlemen, inflation would go this way. Can you really withstand another 10% to 25% increase in the price of anything? I go to the store and I'm just literally shocked. Every trip I go, I just sit there and I'm just like, this is outrageous. This is really outrageous. And I'm like, I can't believe the pricing. I just can't. And quite frankly, I used to not really do too much. I mean, order stuff online. The wife does her ordering, and it's like, I don't really pay too much attention. But now that I'm actually doing hand to hand, picking stuff off the shelves, and I'm looking at stuff, I'm like, I don't remember it being this much. What the heck? And we're talking, if I notice, it's $2 or something difference. It's like, I'm like, I don't remember this being like this. This thing used to be $3 and something. How's it $5.99? I'm looking around. Is it 2 for 1 or something? I'm just like, this is insane. Especially the grocery store. I'm having a big problem with the grocery store. It's crazy. I'm just like, this can't be happening. I'm going out to fast food, or not fast food, but go to a restaurant, and I ordered a few things when I went out with the daughter, and I'm sitting there like, I'm like, we didn't even hardly order anything. This was like $100 or something. I was like, this is just insanity. Insanity, ladies and gentlemen. This is not sustainable for ordinary citizens. This is not sustainable. And just to think that things are going to cost more due to all the chaos. So we don't want you to create your financial suicide. You have to stay in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you smash that like button. Curtis Davis is in the house, so you guys know where you got to go over. Curtis Davis has a YouTube channel. Go show some love, ladies and gentlemen. He puts out information to help you improve your financial literacy and make investments. Also, post-retirement travel. He started his YouTube channel. And go show some love. Subscribe to both, ladies and gentlemen. Click on their profile, then go subscribe, click the bell, and then come back here, subscribe, and click the bell for Stop Struggling Now. We greatly appreciate it. And make sure you smash the like buttons on their videos. All right. Hopefully that helps out. Very nice to see you once again. Mr. Financial's here. All right. Mr. Financial, are you going to be taking advantage of the market drop like it dropped today? Are you taking advantage? I'm pretty sure you are. Getting some of that duffel bag of cash ready, rock and rolling. I'm pretty sure. Okay, USA versus the world. Financial. Oh, chaos. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change it. Financial chaos. That's about it, because that's it. And I should say, what's the play, right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make the title Financial Chaos. That's it. What's the play? Assets. That's what it is. Okay, it all fits. All good. Crazy title, but that's what it's going to be. What's the play, ladies and gentlemen? You guys know the play. This is why we do Money Making Monday, the Wealthy Wednesday live stream, Financial Friday night live streams. Because once again, biz buy sell on the ticket. And again, I have to keep saying this. Make sure your credit is in order. Now, some of you may be saying, hey, Eric, hold on, man. Hold on. Let's see, resolutions, right? Oh. Oh, tell me I have this right. Oh, that's not what I want. Okay, Tracy. Let's see, Tracy at Resolve Finance. There we go. That's what I want. Resolve Finance. Go see Tracy. Uh-oh. Hold on. There we go. Loan debts reduced. Fix your credit. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's down below in the description box in about 1 minute. All right, I'm getting ready to give you a link because we got to get everybody back to debt reduction. Okay, 1 year, 8 months, please. Get your debt down low as possible. Your debt to income ratio, we need it at less than 10%. You have, I don't care what it is, your credit card balance, if it's $1,000 to use an example, you can only owe $500. That's where we're trying to go here. For every 1,000, you owe 500. That's across all of your cards. So if you have a card that's a 2,000, another one 5,000, another one 10,000, then it's always 5%. So in other words, if you have $10,000 of credit card total, you only can owe 5%. Okay, $500. 1,000 or less would be great. But if you can get down to 500, 600, 400 in that range, that will optimize your score. And we need you at 775. It's that simple. So some of you would say, I'm in deep doo-doo. So Eric, what can I do? Well, you go see Tracy, Tracy at resolvefinance.com. There's a link down below in the description. Let her know you're from SSN Nation. Eric sent you. She will show some love, just how I love helping people. That's what she loves because she knows there's a lot of people in financial ruin, and that's her thing. She's like, man, I love doing this because I can get people out of this in 1.5 to 2 years most of the time, or sooner if they go with the program. I'm like, oh my, I like this. I like to hear this. Okay. Contact Tracy at resolvefinance.com, ladies and gentlemen. I actually have twice down there. And then, of course, we have Smart Credit that can help you do credit monitoring and help build your credit. Then I have down below, of course, self-finance. Credit Strong is still out there. You can actually get no credit check, no hard inquiries. You can actually get lines of credit and self-credit and Credit Strong. You can actually uh, get a uh, self-funded credit card. So that helps. All right. So keep that in mind. Exactly, Eric. I'm glad to hear someone else describing my frustration with prices. Just a few bags from Walmart cost you 200. It's incredible. It's cheaper to go out and eat and bring a box back. Exactly, man. Exactly. I mean, it's a catch 22. It's like I sat there and thought, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I could just, like, here's the funny part. In-N-Out Burger. I go in there and I'm looking at the thing and I'm like, because In-N-Out Burger used to be like $2 for the burger. Um, in fact, their combo was like $6. I look on the menu and I looked up there and I'm like, that says 10.75 for a combo. So I'm thinking, do they have a new combo in here? And I'm looking at the board like, is there? There's no new combo. I'm just like 10.75. I'm like, oh, this is crazy right now. From $6 to 10.75 now for a combo. Combo is the burger, the fries, and a drink. I'm sitting there like, this is insanity right now. So then I'm thinking, okay. Then I go to the store and I say, okay, let me just go to the store, get some food, right? Then I'm like, okay. I go to the store Friday. We generally have turkey, right? No hormones, no antibiotics, all that stuff, right? The package that comes in 1 pound, I really don't usually get those. Those are $4.99. Used to be, I'll put it that way, $4.99 for that 1 pound pack, which is still expensive, but well, kind of. Then the 3 pound pack is always $10. So now when I go there and I see this like $7.99 for the 1 pound, I was like, okay, they must be talking about something else. Let me go see what the one I normally get anyhow is the 3 pound pack. It said 15.75 or something like this. I was like a 50% increase between, I was just here like a week back or 2 weeks back. 50%, not 10, not 20, 50 for both. That's when I was like, oh man, this is getting ridiculous. So then I go down and get some other things and everything was like 40 to 50%. Now I'm in Cali. I don't know what's happening elsewhere, but it's getting absurd. I mean, I just can't even believe it. It's absurd. Absurd. Oh man. Do they have like a Latino supermarket there? Yes, they do. Here in Florida, you can go to a Latino supermarket and get a lunch meal that includes rice and meats for 12. It's so much that it lasts me 3 days. Aha, that's right. We have a spot, man. We have a spot too. Um, Yeah, there's a spot that I get like a big old, the burritos that has I call it the rafa, but it has the rice, the beans, the shredded. Well, I get shredded. So shredded chicken, shredded pork, shredded anything I put in mine. And then it has the sour cream, avocado, and some other stuff in it. The thing is like this, and it's like $12. It takes 2 days to eat that thing. It's crazy. 2 days because you can only eat half of it. It's crazy, man. Crazy. Yeah, we got a few spots like this. And what's even what's even crazier is they give out free chips homemade, unlimited. So when you go there, you get your to go and you just fill up the to go bag box with the chips that they just made, just came out nice and warm. Then they give you salsas, all the three. Well, there's 7 or 8 salsas, habanero, which no, I'm not touching that. But they have all of that. It's awesome. So we have enough to eat for like 2 days. It's insane for $12. It's insane, man. It's insane. Yes, I do that maneuver too, post-retirement travel. It's called La La Brigados in Sacramento. Is awesome, man. Awesome. Awesome. So just keep that in mind. That I agree with you. That is the actual ticket right there. You're giving a little hack, life hack, because straight away you go and order food at the grocery store and it's sitting there like that same. It's costing me the same, almost $10 for a meal now. 8 to 10 to maybe $12 for a meal. So now when I went and got some fettuccine, some uh, uh, spaghetti sauce, onions, mushrooms, and 1 pound of meat. That was like that was four, yeah, that's like 14, $15. And sure, it's 2 days as well. But that's only that. Never mind when I went down to get the salmon and the guy goes, he says 13.99 a pound. I was like, what? What do you say? I said, hold on a second. Let me go get my fishing pole. What are you talking about right now? I'm like, this is getting insane. This stuff used to be like 8.99, 7.99, even here in Cali. Now it's 13.99, 11.99, so another 40 to 50% increase. So now, again, everything is like costing you as an individual. It's seeming to me a meal's costing $10 to $15 if you go to the grocery store, or you can go damn near eat out at some low budget spots for the same price and have leftovers. I'm just like, man, I wish I could remember. Let me remember the name of these. I'll give these guys a shout out because they're off the charts. Because they have their weird. In fact, I have a picture. Hold on, what's going on? Okay. Yeah, that's not it. Let's go look at this right now. I can't remember exactly. I never even paid attention. I just know where it is. It's on Northgate. It's on Northgate. Let me go look it up. Got to give it a proper El Bramido, ELBRAMIDO, ladies and gentlemen. El Bramido. That's right. That's where I go right there. Get my little 11.99 wet burrito, in fact. Enough for 2 people and takes 2 days to eat it. It's insane. It's insane. You can get one that's a little even bit bigger, and it's like can't remember. It's 11. I think it's only $1 more or something. Crazy, crazy. So it's like crazy. And I don't even know what the extra dollar does because they told me one time, and I was just like, well, I got everything already, so I don't really care. And I get chips in the back, so I'm like, it's all good. El Bramido. That's it. If you're ever in Sacramento, that's in the Thomas. It's off Northgate. It's a excellent. They have a bar in there as well. Now, hey, the bar is pricey. I'll put it that way. Alcohol is a bit pricey, especially if you don't get the ordinary stuff. They let you pick out which tequilas or which rum or whatever you want. So they'll do the house, but if you say, well, I want this, and that shot is $10 for the shot, well, your drink's going to be about 15 to 20 bucks. Let's just put it that way. All right. So otherwise, if you don't do that, they have water there for you and all that. I mean, order a soda for $1.50 or so. But again, I agree with you 120%. Brian P says, check out your emails, Eric. I can't check them out on live right now for another 2 weeks till I get some Wi-Fi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to try and stream to my laptop anymore because it just doesn't have enough power. 10 megabytes per second doesn't do it for live streaming. So this is why we're doing it here this way. All right, let's keep moving. USA versus the world. And what are you going to do about it, citizens? Because you have your back against the wall. What you don't understand is the citizens of other countries, like if you're in Asia, the cost of living is lower. So they don't get hit as hard because their prices can't go up because nobody can pay. That's how it works. They're tapped. So America, on the other hand, we're tapped the opposite way. That's what the problem is. We pay too much for goods, and now if you don't make enough, you're homeless. That's the difference. That's the big difference. And I can see right now, I pray for all of you who have children that are under 18, under 20, because the cost that it must be to take care of them must be something off of, it's unimaginable. I can't even imagine it right now because when I had to take my daughter to daycare and they said something like, I don't remember what it was. I think it was like $100 or something for the week. I mean, now I'm hearing people say crazy stuff like that'll be $400 a week. That'll be $600 for two kids for the week. I'm just like this. I don't know what the hell. Again, when I saw the diaper row 2 years ago, and I rolled down the row, and it just so happened to be on the chip aisle and the diaper aisle, and I was walking by and I saw some diaper things say $65 or $75, and I knew it was diapers, and I was like, okay, what are they selling over here for $75? Because I see diapers here. Those that should be like 20 some dollars. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh no, diapers cost $75 to $100 in a pack. I was like, oh sheesh. I'm like, this is insane right then and there. And that's a couple years ago. I don't even know what it is right now. I don't even have a clue. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know. What are you guys doing on this Monday when the stock market, it's after hours right now, whatever's happening, you could buy some more and you could do overnight 24-hour trading on Robinhood down below in the description box. We got to add the Robinhood and Webull, don't we? We got to do that. I've added a few other things, but let me add the Robinhood and Webull. Let me get the Robinhood, Webull, Moo Moo. Get your free shares of stock, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget about that. Okay, just download the apps. Of course, they're affiliate links. All these are affiliate links. So show some love since we're not monetized no more. And of course, you guys know we don't have courses. We don't have the what is that thing? Those websites that pay and all that stuff. We don't have none of that. We just try to help people out here. That's why you got to have your pen, pads, and papers ready. F average, be ordinary means you have to study. Yes, we need to roll out, Eric. Agree with you. I don't know how folks are making it. I haven't broken the code yet. Walmart is costing us 1K or more per month without steak and shrimp. Insane. Exactly. I just came from Walmart. I'm sitting there like this is I'm just like, wait a minute, even these guys are getting in the act. But it's still I couldn't really because just went over there, but I was looking at some salmon and I found my salmon packs and I said, wait a minute, that's $11. And I was like, but then I realized, okay, that's basically 1 pound, same as the store. I was just like, this is crazy. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get it because things are so much more expensive than just 4 or 5 years ago. It's crazy. It's like there's like I missed something. How they just said, oh yeah, okay. It seems like everything was going kind of up, but not like this jump. There seems like there was a jump. I missed the jump. It's crazy. Or it could be because I'm in Cali right now and I don't know what the prices are in Georgia. Right. So once I go back to Georgia, maybe things will look a little different, but I don't know. It's out of hand. We'll see. I can't. It's crazy. And the funny thing is, there's really only two organizations out here, grocery chains, and they pretty much can charge the same. So that's the other problem we have. All right. down below in the description box, ladies and gentlemen. I added a few other things so you guys can check it out. USA versus the world. Who will win? I like that. I like it. Okay, let me do something else here as well. Uh-oh. Here we go. Let me know if there's anybody buying gold, silver, precious metals. I want to know, because I know some of the silver stackers, gold stackers, sometimes they're watching me. Because here's what I want to really know. When the gold and the silver have risen to these numbers, records, right? Well, not for silver. Gold, it has a are you selling it, or are you keeping it? That's what I don't think. That's my problem with gold and silver. I'm like, so it went up. You bought it at 1,400 6-7 years ago. It's at 34, 35. Is that did you really double your money, or is that just be the cost of inflation? So I can buy the same thing that I could buy 6-7 years ago. Because with my current dollars, I can buy the same thing that I could buy years ago. But some people would then argue and say, no, Eric, that's not how it works. What I'm saying, Eric, is remember when you were talking about that salmon? You can still buy salmon for the same price. You don't have to throw any extra money in. And I say, okay, I get your point. But while you had that sitting on ice over there, you earned zero. So all I'm doing is that same 1,400, I can only buy the same things, which once I run out of the 1,400, which is now 3,500, now what? I don't have any money coming in or any other streams of revenue coming. So that's why the stock market affords you, and real estate affords you, and business affords you to make money on other fronts in today's money. I've talked about this before. Today's money is not yesterday's money. And so that's why you want to be in business, because you want to make today's money. Your currency is devalued every day. So again, whatever you could buy for $500 is going to cost you probably 1,000 now, just from 4 or 5 years ago, right? So what's the point? I have to make more money. So I want you to get paid in today's money. I don't want to get paid in last year's money. So I can raise the price on everything because it's today's money. So I get to make my same profit, similar profit margin. And that's why business is a thing. That's why you should do business. You shouldn't just do nothing. You should always have some business entities going, something, even if it's one thing, but you try and get a few going. All right. I started doing something. I was starting to talk about watches. I think I got a few. I got one that I usually show you guys every now and then that, I'm an Invicta guy, right? And the reason why I'm an Invicta guy is because they have so many different designs. And it's not so much, well, first of all, quality is relative to what you believe, right? I'm not saying these things cost $10,000, $5,000, $1,500. I don't roll like that. I like something that I like, and I like to pay affordable for something I like. Affordability factor for what I like. It's not everybody's. It's just like taste. Some people like dainty female type watches, 38 millimeters. Male watches, to me, I never liked 38 millimeters. I never liked 40 millimeters, quite frankly. I always thought it was like for women. I mean, I am like 6'1 and a half, 6'2, somewhere in that area, 6'1 and 3/4, whatever. But the point is, when I put a watch on and it's only 38 millimeters, it's like a little circle on there, almost a little bit bigger than a penny or something, it seems like to me, and it feels like a feather. Don't even feel it at all. So I never liked dainty little women type watches, which were men watches, 38 millimeters, 40 millimeters. Women's watches were 36 millimeters, 29 millimeters, that kind of thing. So Invicta came out with these oversized and steel, and they weigh almost a pound in some instances. So of course, I'm going to talk about one that I have a couple. I'm going to show you one. I don't know if I've shown this one before. I think I have, but I only brought this one on the trip with me because it's different. I never wear it, so I figured this time when I go, but I never knew we were going to be gone like 2 or 3 months, right? So I'm going to be gone 3 months, but I have more watches here though, because storage is here, and I have several, but I'm not breaking them out because they're in a box. But I still have other ones, so I'm going to show you this one that I have here, and I showed you this before. It's called the Icy Blue, and this is one that I love. It's not. I pull the stem out because it's a quartz, right? So I'll put it back in, but you guys have probably seen this one before, but this is only, can you believe? And I haven't even taken the plastic off the cover, off the front of the dial, but check this out, guys. Look at this. This is crazy. Oh, it looks like we got it. Okay, hold on. Let me see. There we go. Icy Blue, right? It's a chronograph. So look at this. This is crazy. Yeah, these things move. Oh, I can't even, it's hard to do. These things move right here. This is crazy stuff. Look at this. Let's see. How can we do this? Here we go. Check it out. Those things actually move, right? So I guess I'll hit the function pusher so you guys can see it's a chronograph. So we'll start the function pusher. The thing will start going. Let's see, go this side so you guys can see it. The second hand will start moving. Some other hands will start moving in there. So it's all good. So now look at, yeah, you can turn this, right? Turn it around, do all this. And it goes 600 feet deep. I know. I know. In the pool, ladies and gentlemen, can you believe this? In the pool, look at the cables on the side. Oh, hold on. Look at the cables on the side, right? See the cables? Crazy stuff, right? Wild stuff. Wild stuff. And because it's got this crazy design, I'll stop it. Let's hold on. Let's stop it, right? Okay. And it's a Swiss movement, in case people don't understand. There's Swiss movement. And it's got a date time, it's got a day on it. You can see on the, let's see. Yep, you can see the date. Where is it over there? Date hidden. This is like a Swiss movement at a 50-30, right? Nothing major. There's no movement. It's not, what, 15, 20, $25. But it's still a Swiss movement. And they call it a King Python. Now, some people would be like, okay, how much do you think it cost? Right? Chronograph. By the way, it's got a date on it. And also, one of the windows over here, which you can't see because it's stuff. Let's see. Right there is day of the week. Inside that other little circle is the day of the week. So every day it moves around. These are called complications, right? Okay, no big deal. Some people will like this. Some people won't. All right. But can somebody, oh, and it weighs, I think it weighs 1 pound. I think it's either 15 ounces or it's 16 ounces. It can go 600 feet deep, 200 meters, water resistant. I'll never do that. But every now and then I play around. Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. It is, yeah, it's no 38 millimeter. It's no, hold on a second. Let me pull it up. I don't know how big it is, but I don't want to tell you. It's over 50 millimeters. Let me just put it that way. All right. It's over 50 millimeters. Okay. So I'll pull it up here. Somebody's got one on eBay. And yeah, they even have an icy blue. 50 millimeters, ladies and gentlemen. 50 millimeters. Icy blue. Crazy, right? Swiss movement and everything, right? About 15, I think it's 15 ounces, something like that. It's pretty heavy. But I like it. To me, it's not heavy. It's light. It's just that when I go through TSA, I take it off and I don't realize how heavy it is, right? So I give it to somebody, and all of a sudden they're like, "Whoa, what is this?" They're like, "What is this, man?" Nice watch, looks big. Yes, it is, man. 50 millimeters, man. I can't deal with the 40s. I can't deal with the 38 millimeters. That's the wife's. So since and that's a brand called Invicta that has a lot of hate, right? So they have Swiss, like this watch is Swiss because it has a Swiss movement in it. So, um, and they're saying it has a Z60, which it looks like the ETA, but it's a Z60, I guess. That's what they're saying. So I probably have a Z60, which is a Swiss movement, Ronda Z60, fine. But the point is, it's made partially, sometimes Thailand, China, Switzerland parts. And that's why instead of it being 1,000, 2,500 or more, it's only like $200. I have this thing. I'm like, I will buy these cool watches for $200 or less, brand new. Yes, you heard me. Brand spanking new, right? So I'll show you one other because this is what's going on right now around the world. People are finding out if Invicta wanted to brand their watches a different way and have a nice little box, a cool ass box, papers, and all this put on their website for tracking and do all this stuff and act like a luxury brand, then they could probably say, okay, it's whatever, 1,500 or 1,200 if they wanted, or maybe $3,000, whatever. I don't know. So that's the whole point about buying low, selling high, knowing your values on what you want to do. That's how investors have to invest. So when it's USA against the world has a different side of the coin that they're on. Their economy is different than the United States citizens' economy. So therefore, they are able to do certain things that the United States cannot do. You cannot engage in a tariff war if your enemy has lower wages. You're not even on the same playing field. You're not on the same playing field if you are importing a majority of your items and parts from that country that you're engaging in a tariff war. So you're again losing. There's no way you can win this. And then when you have countries doing this like Germany and China that says, well, we're just not going to ship your stuff to you. You come and get it. Now all of a sudden you can't even get your supplies. They're holding you hostage. So that is not going to win you any war. You have no supplies to get to your citizens. Your citizens can't buy anything. Your importers, your businesses that are going to sell to the American citizen can't get the product. They go out of business. Your citizens start looking around going, I'll order directly from these guys because that's what they start doing. And now you just bypass the American business who's going to go out of business, which means their employees are going to be without a job. You can't win. We can't win that type of hand-to-hand combat war. We're not equals. If we were equals, then of course we have another conversation. So since we're not equal, that means we're going to have a lot of pain, ladies and gentlemen. And a lot of pain means you have to make more money. So if you plan on being in retirement, that old adage about, well, all you need is $1 million or all you need is 2 million, you might as well just throw that out of the window if you plan on living in America. You don't know how much it's going to cost in America 5 to 10 years from now. Now, I will show you. In fact, hold on before I show you this because I got to find out what the millimeters are for this. I'll show you guys the millimeters. It's hold on. Now, you guys, I can't remember all these watches. It's just cool, right? I don't remember all the watches. Let me find this one. Oh, wow, I think I found it. Well, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Wow. I just found this one on eBay that the wife has this one. Yep. No. No, not this one. Not this one. I gotta find it. I think it's a 42 millimeter. I think. I'm not sure. I think that's what it is. All right. So this is what the wife has. I'll show you guys what she has. Nice. Now, guys would wear this, but look at this. Look at, well, probably can't see that either. Look at this. Diamonds. Mother of pearl dial. White. Sick. And they call this women's gladiator with the nice little chains, diamonds all around, all cool, right? But this is like 40, I think it's 40 millimeters. So guys could wear this, because guys wear 40 millimeters. I mean, Rolexes and stuff like that, right? Breitlings, 40, 39 millimeters. This is a woman's watch to me. Now, again, Invicta, limited edition, whatever. But the point is, look at this. Look at this. This is like hugely different. Hugely, huge, big difference. All right. So once again, this diamonds, mother of pearl, and some Swiss movement in it, right? But once again, I spent more for her watch than I do with my own, because this is one that's hard to get. So there's a value to it. So I said, okay, I think it was 400 and something, right? That's like the most expensive one I ever spent. Only hers would I do that. Mine, they have to be 200 or under. That's it. 200 and under. That's it. That's the criteria. And they got to be cool. Just like when you make investments, and these aren't investments. Don't get me wrong. Okay. To me, watches, they're not investments. All right. Anything you buy that is based on whatever somebody else sees as the value, that's what people pay for. So otherwise, if you invest, I look at, if I said I have invested in Invicta watches, I could say that, because my whole thing is I'm buying for 200 and under. Can I get 200? I think I would be able to get the 200 for icy blue, especially when I look on eBay and a guy's selling it for 249. The same one's on eBay for 249. So obviously I get it for I think I got it for 179 or something like this. So I know I can sell it for that. So I'm not going to make money, but at least I can get some of the money back, right? Plus, its currency's devalued. So even if I got the money back, so what? But the point is, I'm not giving it back or selling it. But this is how you have to look at stocks, right? You have to look at any investment, whether you're collectors, like you're doing those cards, like Brian P. was doing the card investing at auctions. Just like when I had the nice watch, looks big, thank you. Just like when we go, I went to an auction for restaurant equipment, and it was actually in a warehouse. And since something happened, they started auctioning off sports memorabilia. And when I saw that Michael Jordan one with his hands out, and it's called Wings, and it was signed by him, I just said, oh, that's pretty cool. I have a spot for that in my brain, right? I'm like, I got a spot for that over the bar. And so when nobody bid on it, because why? Everybody there was for restaurant equipment. Michael Jordan hasn't played in over 20 years. So the restaurant equipment guys weren't not even into sports. So all they know is they see some dude with his arms out crossed and with the basketball, and it's like says wings on it. All it's just a poster then. So when I say the guy says who'll give me like $20, $25, I'm like, hell yeah, I'll give you $25. Now, I do not do sports collectibles either, but I just thought it was cool. Fits in the pad, right? Now, of course, I get home, I open it up, and I start looking, and I'm like, wait a minute. Does this thing really say 3 grand? Does this say 5 grand? Holy smokes. And then it says, if it's signed, it's worth this. And I'm looking at it like, wait, is this thing signed? I go look. Oh, damn, it's signed. I was like, oh, this thing's worth thousands of dollars. And it's sitting on the floor in a warehouse in Florida because the sports card and memorabilia shop went out of business and they were going to auction their stuff off one of these days. And just because something happened with the restaurant equipment, they were like needing the warehouse space to get empty because something happened. And the guy started auctioning off sports memorabilia and some other stuff. So I just got lucky. So that's Johnny on the spot. Be at the right place at the right time. And you never know what values there are. But values are subjective. It's all based on what somebody else is willing to pay and if you can recognize the value. So can you recognize the value in stocks? Work on it. Can you recognize the value in real estate? Work on it. Can you recognize the value of if you have a gold or silver? And if you deal in watches or cars, can you recognize a value? Because arbitrage is going to be a thing if you can still do it. So let me know what you guys think about that. All right. So I'll give you one more that I got that I had to do it because get this. The wife has a pink, like this pink Chanel-ish type coat. So it's kind of wild. All right. Even old comic books are worth, especially those still in the plastic. I was shocked to hear some of the prices collectors are willing to pay for the old Superman and Batman comic books. I know. My brother is one of those comic book guys. My brother, okay, I, it's unbelievable. You know, crates, like old milk carton crates. And a lot of DJs use those same crates, right, to put in their albums and stuff, or their 33s or whatever. So he has like 15 crates, 20 crates of comic books in plastic. I'm not a comic book collector. I have no clue what he has, but he has stuff that says 25 cents on it. He has stuff that says 5 cents on it. He has stuff that says 75 cents on it. I'm just like, damn, I know for a fact those are old. I'm like, what the hell? And I mean, I don't even know. He's just got stacks and stacks. It's out of control. I don't know. It's crazy. So, uh, and I just, speaking of that, worth a lot of money. Exactly, man. It's worth what somebody's going to be willing to pay. And here's the funny part. When you have collectibles, there's some that, you know, like the Ty Cobb or something, you know, I mean, Honus Wagner card, right? You can, no matter what the economy is, somebody around the world is going to buy that one or two. But the question is, during a down economy, can you get the price versus an up economy? An up economy is when, if you're going to sell this stuff, is when you should be selling, in my opinion. So again, this is how the stock market works, as well as the Bitcoin market, the crypto market. Funny thing, when the crypto starts rising, people start wanting to get in. When the crypto's dropping, people are selling. It's the opposite as an investor. When prices are going down, that's when you're supposed to buy, right? That's what you have to do. You have to buy. Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh my God. He may have a fortune there. My son is the same way and he wants to keep those. Yeah, man. I know, man. My brother's been collecting ever since he was a kid. So I don't know what's in these things. In fact, just by looking at them, I would not know. I would have to go through each one and go look at the values. It's crazy. Crazy. And even then, if I found something that had value to it, I wouldn't sell it. I would still keep it. I'm just going to put it in a family trust. That's all I'm going to do. Keep it for life. It'll be hidden. It'll be that Honus Wagner one day, right? So down the line, somebody in the fam will be able to do it. I don't know if I'll be able to put something in that restricts somebody from getting it or something. I'm sure I can, as long as I can fund it. But um, we'll see what happens. So we'll just go into the family, trust situation and call it a day. Make it work, get everything numbered, get it all, lined up like you said. They have ratings on some of them, not all, but a lot. They got these ratings on them, and I'm like, oh my God, this is outrageous. Outrageous. But it's cool though. It's really cool because you never know. This is why stocks are collectibles to me. Real estate is like collectibles to me, right? That's what it's like to me. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. So, all right, we're going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. USA versus the world. You're in it. We're in the mix. The rest of the world, if you're watching, hopefully somebody can finally watch outside the United States since we're not monetized. Hopefully you guys are doing well and you have to do the same thing. Whatever the rich guys, the wealthy are buying, you have to be a part of it. You can't be sitting on the sidelines. If they are buying rubles, you got to buy the rubles. If they're buying in the stock market in their country, you should be buying in the stock market in their country. If they're buying real estate, you should be buying real estate. Simple as that. Um, I'm just going to tell you guys, when I was growing up, the guys used to all go, "You're a little different." I said, "What do you mean?" They go, "You do things different." I said, "I don't really do things different. I just go by. Here's what I used to tell people: take it how you will, but I used to just tell the guys, I'd be like, whatever the white guys are doing, that's what I'm doing. They want to be in the car business, I want in. They want to be in doing winery, I'm doing wine business. They want to have a bank, I want to have something to do with banks." Yes, I was like, everything they do, I'm doing. Travel agencies were hot. White guys own travel agencies, I'm doing it. I said, I just told people when I'm growing up, whatever they're doing, I'm doing. Whatever you guys are doing, I don't really care. Whatever they do, that's where the money is. I'm going. I'm going to be in that game. So that's how I've always operated. Real estate, I'm in the game. Commercial real estate, I'm in the game. Everything. Everything that makes money. The only thing I really didn't do was grocery business because farming and all that couldn't get into. But there's a lot of things, there's things right now that's coming up, right? AI, if that's a thing, it's kind of computerized. It's not actual product, but nonetheless, anything that they were into, I was into. That had to do with business. This artificial stuff that has come over the last 20 years, where you can do different things with like a Bitcoin and a AI softwares and social media engineering and making money from that. I'm not built for that, really, right? Because this is like thin air. I'm built for hards, where I can get my hands on the product, resell it or move it, make money and keep moving. This other stuff is weird to me. And that's probably why I've never been very good at online marketing and stuff. It's just weird. But nonetheless, you have to fit your niche, ladies and gentlemen. That's how simple this is. You can always make money. All right, now I'm going to show you one that I got just for the way. Because she has this pink coat, right? Because it was cold. Now it's warm, so it won't really matter. But I got a kick out of it because it's pink. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a pink watch. And so she's like, what? Really? I was like, yeah, pink is fine. I'm just not going to be wearing a pink shirt, though. Or shorts. I mean, but a pink watch. Yeah, I'll wear one of those. So she was laughing. She thought I was joking. I got it. And I'll show you which one it is. And once again, I stick with my boys, right? Invicta comes in this nice little box. And then comes in another nice little box. Cute, right? And then the funniest part. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I'll give you guys the full lowdown, right? Oh, this is limited edition. That's why. Forgot. Limited edition. I don't know why, but oh well, marketing. Nice little box, right? Pink from Miami. All right. And so if people are into watches, because of this design, and again, I didn't take the cover off, but pink, look, pink matches her jacket. So I get a kick out of it, right? So now it's a unisex. So she just basically wears it. I don't really wear it much, but I only got it because she has it. But look at this. This is crazy. This is a Swiss movement, and it's an Invicta racing inspired watch. Again, it's got the function pushers, all this stuff, man. But here, oh, that's right. I don't have it on, so I got to cut it on. Yeah. So pink, right? Now, this is 47 millimeters. Yeah, yeah, you can see the movements inside, all that stuff. Some people, it looks like a freaking what do you call them? RMs, Richard Mills. Funny as hell. People are like looking like, what is that? And I'm like, what do you mean? And I didn't realize this resembles a famous brand until have a purple one that's similar. And when I wore the purple one, people started asking me, is this real? And I didn't know what they were talking about. I was like, what is real? What do you mean? Yeah, this is titanium, by the way. The case is titanium. It only goes down 50 atmospheres, but still. The case is titanium. And so I'll give anybody a guess. Oh, and it's a Swiss movement. It's what is it? 5030D, I think. Swiss ETA 5030D. If that matters. I mean, the movement's nothing more than 15 to 20 bucks, best case scenario. Titanium case, sapphire crystal. Oh, yeah, sapphire crystal, ladies and gentlemen. Titanium case, Swiss movement, silicone strap, limited edition. 3,000 made, I think. I think. It's either 3,000 or 1,000. I can't remember. Anybody want to take a guess at how much it costs? Let's see. Limited edition. What was this? Invicta Racing. Oh, Miami. Put it in there, Miami, because that's what it is. Miami limited edition. Okay. 5030D Swiss limited edition. Let's see. Limited edition. Is it 3,000 or 1,000? Let's go look. Anybody want to guess how much that watch costs? You can probably look it up, but it's going to be funny as hell. So it's not 300. It's not 400. It's not 200. Good guess, post-retirement travel. Some people are paying not 350, 260, 270, something like that, brand new. I don't know why they would do that. But some are paying 299, somewhere between 250 and 299. All right. So I can't find out how many it is. It's either 3,000. Okay. So, oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me see if I have it. You guys will die. You're going to crack up. Hold on. I forgot in the boxes, I always keep the price tag, right? Hold on, 47186. Yep, it's that 47186. That's the model number. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I think that's it. 47186. Swiss Ronda. I always say had a Swiss Ronda 5030D. And also, yeah, here it is. Here it is. Anybody? Okay. Post-retirement travel. Thank you for that guess. A lot lower. Yeah, I see right now it's $289. 290 now, actually. Online at some places. Okay, sapphire crystal, Swiss movement, silicone strap, titanium case. They're not telling me how many. Let's see. How many? Come on now. Okay, I don't know how many. All right, any other guesses? 250. Okay, let me see if I have it. Oh, damn it, I don't have it. Wait. Nope, I don't have it. Doesn't have a price on here. Oh well, packing slip. Got to have some papers, as they say, right? All right. So unfortunately, oh, it's only 1,000 of those made. 1,000 of these. 1,000 of these made. That's it, which is pretty cool. So I'll give you the price now, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna die. You're gonna be like, what? $99 plus shipping, brand new. Not on eBay, not on anything, directly from Invicta. They're selling it for $289 because there's a thing that Invicta does. They come out with stuff, they sell it at ridiculous, like at one time this was $400 or $500, right? Then it drops down to like 269, 289. Then they have these special deals at their Invicta stores or shopping online, and they'll drop it like one time only. Well, one time only, $99 popped up. I said, thank you very much. And I bought it for $99. 47 millimeters, sapphire crystal, titanium case, Swiss movement, silicone strap, 50 atmospheres. So that ain't much. What, 100 feet down or something? So, but either way, I'm not going swimming in that one. That's not going to cut it. I'm not going swimming in that. So just giving you guys an idea. So I collect those, so to speak. I just like the way things look, right? I have one more, but I'll deal with that on Friday. And that one is special too. But those are the three I am rocking with right now because I actually ordered the pink one while I'm here in Cali. That's the only reason I have, because I'm actually going to probably resell it. It's number 888 or 887 out of that. So anyhow, $99, ladies and gentlemen, is the crazy thing. So I'm going to roll. We're going to end this right now. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I love you guys very much. I love you guys very much. But make sure you have downloaded your software. Down below, get your free shares of stock. Make sure that you get your credit straight, 775 by 1 year, 8 months. Make sure if you need help with your debt resolution and improve it, go see Tracy. Email Tracy at resolvefinance.com. Let her know Eric sent you, SSN Nation. All right. Let her know. She'll help you guys out greatly. So make sure you do it. And with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard up here. And that's why you have to stay diligent right now. You can't go on the sidelines. You can't just put la 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 la. You have to make investments. You cannot sit there and think that your retirement's going to carry you through because you have 2 million. I'm going to ask you guys something. What happens? Most people have investments of any significant amount is in the stock market. What happens if the stock market goes 50%? You had 1.5 million at retirement. Now it's 700,000. What if it stays there for 5 years and your expenses are 40 or 30,000 or something like that annually? You're going to need revenues. So don't put yourself in that position. This is what happened to people in Europe in the late 90s and in the 2000s. Same thing. And that's why they had to move out of major cities like in the UK. London, downtown London is owned pretty much by corporations. People had to flee and move outside on the outskirts because they had no way to make money. So these are the things that you have to pay attention to. All right. I pay attention to them. You should pay attention to them. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much once again for being here. I appreciate it. See you on Wednesday at 8:50 p.m. That'd be great. Appreciate it if I do see you there. And if you ever need me, you can always support at stopstrugglingnow.com. Support at stopstrugglingnow.com. And with all that said, make sure moving